It's too late. Meghan Markle's aides are encouraging her to distance herself from Omid Scobie's book in an attempt to save her career. They say they're worried that this book is going to trash her career, but last time I checked, her career is already in the trash.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the King YouTube channel.
Well, it couldn't have happened to a nicer woman, could it? Poor Megsy, the Duchess of Sussex, is now facing the possibility of her career being trashed unless she can distance herself from Omid Scobie's new book Endgame, and fast, according to the Daily Express. According to the Express Online, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are being urged to distance themselves from royal author Omid Scobie and denounce him, or risk fallout from his book destroying their future in America. Quote, Meghan Markle's new Hollywood handlers and image makers were last night said to be horrified and exasperated that the couple's popularity is plummeting disastrously as a result of the reignited palace race row, as well as the book Endgame's cruel and scathing attacks on the Princess of Wales. Honestly, folks, I didn't even know at this point that Meghan and Harry's popularity in the US could plummet any further. I mean, I thought they were already at basically zero. The last time we heard the figures reported, Meghan Markle's net approval rating in the US was somewhere around 10, and then Harry's was around 24. I mean, these figures were already nothing to brag about, and now apparently things are getting even worse for the Duke and Duchess of Hypocrisy. But again, this is all their fault. They have no one to blame but themselves, and also their favorite mouthpiece, scabies. We're going to have to wait a little more for another poll to come out in the US, but an exclusive UK Sunday Express opinion poll reveals that 78% of British people, more than 3/4, believe that Catherine is a better role model than Meghan Markle. Only 22% voted for Meghan. And honestly, who were those people? I can't even believe that many people voted yes for Meghan being a good role model. In my opinion, the only people who Meghan would be a good role model for would be people who want to grow up to be narcissistic evil witches. So while Meghan and Harry maintain their undignified silence, more and more people are calling for the two of them to release some kind of statement condemning Scooby-Doo's new book. But see, I guess they can't do that, because then what if Scooby-Doo lets out all the skeletons in Meghan's closet, of which there are plenty? He's got too much dirt on her, and that's something she knows all too well. So I don't think we're going to hear Meghan and Harry saying anything about this situation for quite some time. The former BBC royal correspondent, though, has weighed in. Michael Cole, he is supporting the call for Meghan and Harry to immediately answer their critics. He said, Harry must act. Only he can silence the racist storm engulfing the family. Well, it looks to me like Michael Cole is giving Harry a little too much credit here. Does he believe that Harry is bothered by the racist storm that has engulfed his family? Absolutely not. He's perfectly happy to stay up Meghan's butt in Montecito and smoke a bunch of weed all day and just try to forget everything. I always picture Harry just sitting around on the sofa most of the time, stoned out of his mind playing video games, and then when he sobers up and realizes what an evil woman he married, well, he just goes for that joint again. And as for how Harry feels about his family, well, he's already made that pretty clear that he despises them. Now, is this bothering him on some level? Probably, because he knows these allegations are untrue. But at the same time, he can't stand up to Meghan. She's also got too much dirt on him. It's like some kind of weird blackmail menage a trois. Mr. Cole went on to say, Prince Harry should issue a statement making it clear that he does not accuse his relatives of racism. Now is the time for the prince to clear up this highly damaging mess. He went on to say Harry should also explain how correspondence between Meghan and the then Prince of Wales, now King, in which she complained about the attitude of other family members towards her, came to be relied on by Scobie to underpin the pernicious allegation of racism. Well, again, I mean, Mr. Cole is really underestimating, or maybe overestimating, Harry. At this point, the question of whether or not Harry cares about his family is a moot point. He is completely under Meghan's control, and see, she's enjoying this whole mess way too much. There is no way she is going to agree for the two of them to release a statement condemning scabies. We know that Meghan despises the royal family. We know that she wants to see them squirm, and so we imagine she's feeling pretty happy right now. But at the same time, she needs to think about her own career. I mean, she thinks about herself all the time, so I'm surprised this hasn't hit her like a ton of bricks. This is not good for her image whatsoever. She's always trying to reinvent herself. Well, those efforts are in vain thanks to this new book. And reportedly, the folks at WME are also not happy with what's going on right now. According to The Express, they are horrified and exasperated by a never-ending scandal that threatens to take a wrecking ball to Meghan and Harry's future plans. Well, I still would like to know exactly what their future plans are. Is Meghan still planning on launching her blog or her wellness site or whatever it is? Meghan thinks that she's being so clever by being so vague about this project, but we know the truth. She's got nothing going on. A source has told The Express, though, there are potential deals on the table for Meghan that could just as quickly vanish if this continues. Aside from the race row, even the American public is growing weary of mean-spirited and downright cruel attacks on the Princess Kate. Whether or not Meghan and Harry were the sources of these, people will simply assume they were because of their past connections with Mr. Scobie. The source went on to say, unless they immediately distance themselves from him and denounce his book as either untrue or reported out of context, then they must expect to be a part of the backlash against it. If they aren't seen to distance themselves from him, a string of deals being negotiated for Meghan, as well as their production company Archewell, could all come undone at the drop of a hat. The source concluded by saying they're in a very difficult situation, and now they must figure out how to navigate their way out before any more damage is done. Their very future as anything like a Hollywood power couple absolutely depends on that. Hollywood power couple, that's cute. I mean, their careers are already toast. Their brand is already toast. This book was simply the final nail in the coffin if Meghan and Harry take on the US. The truth is, right after Meghan and Harry moved to the US, a bunch of companies got involved with them because they wanted to make money off their royal connection. Well, soon enough, everybody realized that all Meghan and Harry have are these petty complaints that nobody really cares about. It's just not interesting stuff. There's no interesting dirt on the royal family that they have to share. And at this point, they don't even have anything new because they haven't really had contact with the royal family for such a long time. So at this point, Meghan and Harry are becoming increasingly irrelevant and also boring. And you know, they could have gone after King Charles in the book. They could have even gone after Camilla, and they probably would have been okay. But going after Catherine, the Princess of Wales, that was a grave mistake that they are going to pay for. But see, Meghan is just eaten up with jealousy towards her rival Catherine. Of course, Catherine doesn't see Meghan as a rival. She sees her as something so insignificant. She just doesn't care. But Meghan is obsessed with Catherine. That much is clear. And so that's why Scabies included all that stuff about her. I mean, it was horrible, though, the way he went after her. It was so unfair, and it was so inaccurate. Scabies made the stupid claim that people were calling Catherine Katie Keene because she was so eager to serve. Number one, being eager to serve and do a good job is not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing that Catherine likes to do what is expected of her. How could that possibly be a bad thing for anybody except Meghan Markle, of course? Meghan believes that she's this tough woman, she's so strong because she gives everybody a hard time. No, Meghan, that does not make people respect you whatsoever. It just makes you seem like a difficult shrew. And another very interesting thing that has come out about that Katie Keene nickname is that we know exactly where it came from. So first of all, nobody around the palace calls Catherine Katie Keene. Why would anybody call her that? But you know where that name really comes from? It comes from Archie Comics, which, guess who was a big fan of Archie Comics when she was young? Meghan Markle. Apparently her father bought her every single issue. She read it religiously. And that's exactly where this nickname came from. There's also some other weird stuff about Meghan's relationship with that comic series that is disturbing. It's kind of like she has modeled her life after it. We already know that she has a very loose relationship with reality, so I wouldn't be surprised. Let's remember also that she believes herself to be like Ariel in The Little Mermaid, saying the royal family took her voice. Can you imagine what it must be like to be stuck in that sick head of hers? A very scary place to be indeed. And you, what do you think of this news? Please let me know your opinion below in the comments section. If you enjoyed our video today, don't forget to like and share with anybody else who would appreciate it too. And don't be afraid to click the subscribe button to get more updates in the future. Thank you so much for tuning in, have a lovely weekend, and we'll be back to see you all tomorrow.